seems like I'm focusing too much on the entry, it's for good reason. Trust me, it will pay off. So to set up our entry, we want to drive over to the left. If you physically look at the cones, which you may or may not be able to do depending on the cars in front of you, the cones are laying down, pointing us in a given direction. We want to enter this exercise from the left because those cones are pointing us to the left. So here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a reference point, and I'm going to, go ahead and follow me, guys. I'm going to use that large tree that's in front of me off in the distance as my drive-to point. As I drive to it, I'm looking for my opportunity to turn in to the corner. Right about here is where I would consider starting to turn in for the corner. It's kind of right on this red mark. So I'm going to turn the wheel aggressively, probably more aggressively than you might think I should. I'm going to get to an angle at that first apex or gate that is relatively aggressive. I'm close in proximity to the cones. Hopefully you guys can see that on my right hand side. And the nose of my car is aimed towards those planter boxes that are in front of me. Now, since I've achieved so much direction change on the way to the first gate, I can immediately begin direction change back to the second. So as soon as I get my passenger side door next to the cones on my right, I'm going to start turning aggressively back to the left. Momentum will carry me across the white lines and down to my next target. I'm about 180 degrees on the steering wheel to do that. Now, I'm at a slightly less aggressive angle at this apex. An interesting thing happens. Because I've done so much direction change, I can now start to use less steering. I'm 90 degrees on the steering wheel now as I go by gate 3. I'm 45 degrees on the steering wheel now as I go by gate number 4. And what that's telling my foot is that I'm using less of that string that's attached to my right foot so I can use more gas. All about setup. If I didn't do that setup, I'd be chasing the geometry of the exercise all the way through there. And if you ever feel like the exercise magically gets tighter and tighter and tighter as you go through it, that's an indication that we missed gate 1 or we messed up the angle at gate 1. Slow for the turnaround, guys. Give yourself plenty of room to make this U-turn happen to get back in the gate. Now I'm going to go through this without stopping. I'm just going to try and talk to you about what I'm doing with my pedals. So the pedals, as Andrew mentioned, we don't ever want to decelerate in this exercise. We want to try to maintain a given speed for the first 2 gates and then try to accelerate once we've cleared out the distance to do so. Again, I'm going to drive at the big tree. Follow me. I'm going to turn roughly around the red mark. I'm going to aggressively get down to the first apex. I'm going 12 miles an hour. I'm going to maintain 12 miles an hour. Maintaining 12, maintaining 12, maintaining 12. It's opening up 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And now I'm exiting faster than I went in. That is your metric by which we can measure how well you're doing the exercise. What is your input? What is your output? If you're coming in at 20, exiting at 50, awesome job. If we're coming in at 30, exiting at 40, not a net gain. Slow. We did it slow. I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm going to talk about eyes. How important that is. Eyes are your ticket here. The idea with your eyes is you should always be looking at what's coming up. So if I'm steering left and I'm looking for a right-hander, I'm doing pretty good. If I'm steering left and I'm still looking at the left side cone as it's going past my door, not so good, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at gate number 1. Follow me. I'm looking at gate number 1, looking at it. I turn in. Once I know I'm going to hit it, I look at gate number 2. Now I steer for gate number 2. Now I look at gate number 3. I'm gate 4, gate 5. I'm looking all the way at the end because that's where I want to go, and I gas up to get there. Then I brake before I get to that finishing gate, and I get turned around and starting gate. Don't go until I get into position. I want to get set so that I can see what's going on. All right, Johan, are you ready? Start off your first run relatively slow, 15 to 18 miles an hour, depending on how confident you feel. Here we go. Eyes on the first gate, my man. Look where you want to go. Turn in there aggressively. Eyes on the second gate. Eyes on the third gate. Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Go straight, gas it up. Look all the way at the end. Gas it up, full throttle now. Okay, so you had to do a lot of avoiding around gate number 4. What that is a tendency to not turn the steering wheel. Make sure that you're never going straight. As you go by gate number 3, you should still be steering a little bit. I was 90 degrees on the steering wheel in my car. Your car might be different. So, never straight on the steering wheel. Always turning somewhat. Here we go, Sean. First run slow. Get up to speed, hold the speed, look at the first apex, look at the second, look at the third. Slowly accelerate. Now gas it. We gassed it too soon and you had to come out of the throttle. Everything else looks good. Your car placement looks nice. Your steering technique looks good. You can tell you've done this before. But be easy with the power. You should be applying the power as you go around gate 3 if you do everything perfect. Here we go. 1. Start slow. Look at the first gate. Walk it through it. Now turn your head. Look second. Look third. Get there. Slowly gas it. Look all the way at the end. Go straight. Gas it. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Vaughn, you can get a little bit closer to the cones, especially on the second gate on your left-hand side. Okay, Johan, next run, a little bit faster on entry. Try to maintain that speed. Look all the way at the end if you can. Smoothly gassing it. Nice. Way better on the steering, dude. I loved it. Way more tight to the cones. Nice flowy movement. Now your game is how fast can I go into the exercise and still make it to the first apex and the second apex, and then once I go around gate number 3, how early can I get on the throttle and still make it on that shape? Here we go, Sean. A little faster this time. Not too much though. Look. Don't gas it yet. Now. Easy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. When I say gas it, I don't mean stab it, right? I mean dimmer switch it on. Ask it to accelerate always. Here we go, Vaughn. Look up. Get it close to the left. Get it close to the left. There we go. Now slowly squeeze the power. Beautiful. I want you to be on and off the power. Your car placement was perfect. That looks wonderful. Hopefully you can hear me over the roaring McLarens. It's just your throttle. We want to work on the smoothness with the throttle. Here we go, Johan. Up in speed a little bit. Maintain speed. Maintain speed. Look ahead. Good. Slowly gas it. Squeeze. 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 Full power. Nice job. Don't let the rear end wiggle get you out of like your comfort zone. A little wiggle is fine. Just try to feel it. As soon as the rear end starts to wiggle, don't add any more throttle. Just either come out of it to replant the rear or stay with it and the wiggle should subside. Obviously, as that wiggle turns into a big slide, we need to really get out of the throttle and chase it with the steering wheel. Here we go, Sean. I want you to treat the power really gently. Oh, it's gonna get tight. It's gonna get tight. Don't gas it. There you go. Did you see how you came into the first gate shallow because we're starting to carry more speed? You went in shallow and then the course got tight, and then we really had to work the steering wheel later on. So make sure you're hitting your marks on the first one, and that will allow the rest of it to flow better. Vaughn, here we go. Trust it. Stay in the gas. Stay in the gas. Just cruise control, throttle on now. Whoa. So you made this big movement to avoid gate number 4 unnecessarily. We didn't need to make that much of an aggressive movement. Try to really just steer it enough to get it by gate number 4, gate number 5. Here we go, Johan. Up in speed. Maintain that speed. And maintain it. Don't decelerate. Squeeze on the gas. Looking good. Really focus on, I don't want to hear the RPM coming down as you're between gates number 1 and 2. That's just telling me that you're off the throttle and decelerating, adding unnecessary weight to your front tires. Here we go, Sean. Good. Don't gas it yet. Now do it. Okay, so your timing was okay. We just weren't aggressive enough with the steering wheel to get the steering done between gates 1 and 2 and 3. It's okay to toss the car around. You've got to manhandle the car a little bit between gates 1 and 2 and 3 in order to ensure that gate 3, 4, and 5 is straight. Here we go, Vaughn. Smoothly. There we go. Now we're not making that big aggressive movement to get around the final gate. Not sure what that scraping noise was. There's a couple of bumps here, but they shouldn't be that bad. I think it might have just been the front mudguard. Here we go, Johan. Steer it aggressively, left, hard. Here we go. Slowly gas it. Okay, that's verging on too early because I heard you had to pause on the throttle as you went around gate number 4, and you just had to stop that throttle application. So go a tick later on your throttle application, and that run would have been perfect. That was a solid 95% right there. Sean, here we go. Don't gas it. Stay out of the gas. Stay out of the gas. Now gas it. So, Sean, we're coming into gate number 1, too shallow. Drive out towards me a little bit more. Point the nose of your car right at me as you're driving out towards me, and don't just wait longer to turn and turn sharper. Here we go. On. Squeeze it. Good. That looks pretty good. Your throttle application was maybe a little delayed. We could have been a little earlier on the throttle and just lighter. But your car placement and everything looked really good. Here we go. So Johan, that was a really good run, another 95%. But as you went around gate number 2 and got to gate number 3, you had a slight moment of straight line on the steering wheel. So being straight on your steering wheel for any amount of time is kind of wasting space. So that's why it probably felt like gate number 4 was a little tighter this time. Here we go, Sean. Turn it left hard. There we go. Look how much straighter you are coming out now. It was like the car was underworking. Yeah, make sure you get it slowed down because we're coming out with more speed now. But your car was underutilized because you were like, oh, it's going to get bad, I got to stay off the gas pedal. Didn't end up happening because we did so much more work between gates 1 and 2. Nice job. Here we go, Vaughn. That looked pretty good. Had to back out of the throttle a little bit because I think gate 3 got a little tighter than you were expecting it to be. Try to maybe stick with it a little bit. Maybe not at like 40% throttle like you were, but try like 20% throttle, and that would probably plant the rear a little bit as you go around gate number 3. Here we go, Johan. You did awesome. This is your best run yet, probably. Here we go, Sean. So, Sean, I'm only seeing you like 120 degrees on the steering wheel at most on your way to gate number 1, and then on your way to gate number 2, you're like 90 degrees. So I'd like you to be more like 180 degrees, 180 degrees, and then you'll have a little bit easier time still through gate 3, 4, 5. Go on. Okay, stay out of the throttle. Stay out of it. Fix it. Get back to the gas. So we missed our timing to gate number 2, and we were just wide. And if you find that you've got red flags in your mind, like, okay, I'm wide of this, I know I shouldn't be, then you can go ahead and stay out of the gas and wait for it to get fixed and settle down before you squeeze on the gas pedal. Here we go, Johan. That's flowing really well for you, dude. I like where you're at. Okay, Sean, all clear. Really turn it. There you go. Really turn it. So you were shuffling your hands around on the steering wheel. 9 and 3 should work. Make sure you're not at 10 and 2. I think I saw you go back to 10 and 2 right in the middle there, and I think that's why you were kind of having to pass the wheel from hand to hand. That looks better. You're using more angle. Gate 1 and gate 2, looking good. Come on, here we go. Looking good. Ease it in. Toss it left. Look all the way to the end and gas it up. There we go. Much smoother, much more in control, confident. There we go. It's just a matter of seeing if we can increase the speed and keep your timing the same so that we can get to that gate number 2. Here we go, Johan. A couple more runs for each. I see you playing that game of how early can you be on the throttle. Check this out. We're coming into the course a little bit slow, which means that we've got grip overhead that we can use. So you're filling that with throttle application at gate number 2. If you come into the corner a little bit faster, you won't be able to get to the throttle over gate number 2. You'll have to get to the throttle near gate number 3 because you won't have the grip to do it. So try to come into the corner a little bit faster this time. Sean, here we go. Really working that steering wheel. 9 and 3, 9 and 3. Work it, work it, work it. 9 and 3, dude. We clipped that cone because we were moving our hands about. We didn't quite get to the position that we needed. When I'm at 9 and 3, I can take my hands and I can wrap them 180 degrees around that steering wheel. And that's the max that you need. You should not need any more than that. Even in a Toyota Prius with like a truck steering wheel, I can make it through the slalom with 9 and 3 and not taking my hands off the wheel. Okay, 1, all clear. So I just had that eager throttle application as you got turned for gate number 2. I think you know what to do about that. Here we go, Johan. On entry, and you weren't encouraged to get on the gas as you went around gate number 2. Nice job. Sean, here we go. So we really had to back out of the throttle, which I can tell because your exhaust is making those wonderful pops, but it's because you were only 90 degrees on your steering wheel as you went by gate number 2. I want you to be another 90 degrees to 180 degrees as soon as you get to gate number 1. I want you to as hard as you can. Here we go, Vaughn. Cool. Looked good. I think we could have used more throttle, but late throttle is better than early throttle. Here we go, Johan. Great. Sean, you know your task. Turn that thing like this, then hard, right? Here we go. Hard turn, hard, as much as you can. Go, go, go. Yeah, now gas it. We came out a lot straighter. There's more to get. So you went more on the steering wheel. You went to about 120 degrees. I think you can add another 40 degrees or so on that, and it would be good. Remember, keep your nose pointed towards those planter boxes, those brown planter boxes, as you arrive at gate number 1. Come on, here we go. Okay, all the throttle application points looked good. I'd just like you to be a little smoother on the throttle. That was a 99% run. Nice job. Here we go, Johan. Too greedy on the throttle. That's the wiggle. Good job keeping it underneath you. You feel that, remember what I said, when you feel that wiggle, don't continue adding throttle, it'll just make it worse. Sean, big steering. Here we go. Steer as much as you can for the first 2. As much as you can. Yeah. That's what we want. Do your next run exactly the same, just try to get on the power a little sooner, and that will fill up the grip that you've bought yourself around gate number 4 and 5. Vaughn, here we go. Keep going, man. Just smooth through throttle. Good, that was much smoother. Checking our time, guys. I think we have time for 2 more runs each. So here we go, Johan.